This week is Parshas Lech Lecha. And Hashem tells Avram, after he had Ishmael, Hashem told Avram that he'll give him another child. And Avram's answer was a very interesting answer. V'yamid Avram el Elokim, Lu Yishmael Yichya Lefanecha. Rashi explains, Halavai Sheyichya Yishmael. Halavai that Yishmael should live. You promised me another child, Yitzchak, didn't say the name yet, but you promised me another child, Halavai, that the first child that I have should live. That was Avram's answer. If you think about it, it's a little of an interesting answer. Hashem says, I'll give you another child, Halavai, the one that I have, should stay alive. So there's a lot of, Rashi gives a pshat, there's a lot of different terutzim to answer this. There's a very, very famous teretz to this kasha, what's pshat in Avram's answer, that we see that's the gay today. Lu Yishmael Yichle Lefanecha Halavai. Yishmael we know is our cousins.
Yeah.
Halavai Yishmael Yichle Lefanecha Halavai. Yishmael should want to live.
Should want to live?
Yeah, because we have all the suicide bombers. Lu Yishmael Yichle Lefanecha. Hashem told Avram, Halavai Yishmael should want to live. Not that he should live. That's appropriate to today's days. But Rashi gives a different pshat. Rashi says, Yichya Lefanecha, Yichya B'yirosecha. He should live Lefanecha. What does Lefanecha mean? In front of Hashem, like we know, the first halacha, Shulchan Aruch, is Shrisei Hashem L'Nagdi Summit. You should always have Hashem in front of you. What's Yireh Shamayim? Yireh Shamayim means Hashem is constantly in front of you. You're always scared of Hashem. You know He's around. Right? The reason why people do Averis is because they don't really believe Hashem is right there. If someone Choshev was standing in front of you, we wouldn't do the Averis that we do. So the problem is why we do Averis is because we don't have that constant belief, or we believe it. There's Amunah, there's Betachin. We all believe it's Hashem, but we don't live it. That Hashem is always there. Lu Yishmael Yichle Lefanecha. Rashi says Avram asked Hashem that Yishmael should live Yichya Lefanecha, as if he's always in front of you. B'yirosecha, says Rashi, with Yiras Hashem. That was Avram's tefillah to Hashem. Now, there's a big kash on this. And all the Mefarshei Rashi ask on this, and they ask that how is it possible for someone to be mispalel for Yiras Shamayim? What was Avram being mispalel here for? He's being mispalel that Yishmael should have Yiras Shamayim. Could we be mispalel that we should have Yiras Shamayim? Could someone daven Hashem? Hashem. That's the kasha. Could someone be mispalel Hashem? Give me Yiras Shamayim. Does that feel the work?
Maybe.
The Gemara says in Megillah, Hakol b'dei Shemayim, chutz mi'Yiras Shamayim.
No, but what you could ask for, you can ask for, I should be in a matzah conducive for Yiras Shamayim.
Okay, so we'll see. We'll get to the Terutzim. But that's the kasha they ask in Rashi.
That one always asks that he should have emunas HaKadosh Baruch Hu every single day.
So what does that mean? How can a person ask daven to Hashem that he should have Yiras Shamayim? Hakol b'dei Shemayim.
Asking for money. I ask for money. I ask for children.
Hakol b'dei Shemayim chutz mi'Yiras Shamayim. Yiras Shamayim is not b'dei Shemayim. Hashem gave us bechira. We could choose what we want to do. So we go ask Hashem for Yiras Shamayim, so He's taking away our bechira from us. He's giving us, He's scared of Hashem. He's giving us Yiras Shamayim. To ask for parnasa, to ask for anything else, that is what Hashem does.
Yiras Shamayim is not asking. You can't do it yourself. You need help.
But how can Hashem help you? Hakol b'dei Shemayim chutz mi'Yiras Shamayim. How can we ask Hashem to help us for Yiras Shamayim? But it says in Gemara that Yiras Shamayim is not biyad Hashem. That means, of course, we know
Hashem can't even give you
Hashem could do everything. But what it means is Hashem doesn't want it to be in His hands. He wants it to be in our hands. Yep, so then how can you be mispal for Yishmael? That's a question that you all ask on how can Avram daven that Yishmael should have Yiras Shamayim. Huh? Yeah.
That's what he asked.
That's what he asked. But how could he ask for that? How could be the Shemayim chutz mi'Yiras Shamayim? How can Avram ask that Yishmael should have Yiras Shamayim? Hashem doesn't give Yiras Shamayim.
He didn't know that line.
Well, Avram didn't know it.
He's a father.
So how can we ask for Yiras Shamayim? How can we be Shemayim chutz from Yiras Shamayim?
You can ask.
You can ask, but it should be.
Every today the kids should have Yiras Shamayim. No, you don't.
Yeah, of course we do.
So how do we do it?
Okay. That's a kasha.
When do you do that whole song? The Yirei Elokim.
Yeah, we ask Hashem. We always ask Hashem for Yiras Shamayim, and our kids should be doing mitzvahs and everything. What does that mean?
Yeah.
How can we ask Hashem for that? How can we ask Hashem for Yiras Shamayim? That's the question. So it's interesting. The other Mefarshei Torah say.
It's feel like you say every kippur for your kids. That's one of the things.
That the Nachas Yaakov answers, it was brought down in the Sister Chachamim, that he should live in front of you with Yiras Shamayim, and if he doesn't have Yiras Shamayim, then he doesn't have to live. So Avram wasn't asking that Hashem should instill in Yishmael Yiras Shamayim. He said, please let him live with Yiras Shamayim. If he doesn't have Yiras Shamayim, he shouldn't live. That's what Avram was asking.
It didn't work.
Yeah.
He should only live if he has.
He should only live if he has Yiras Shamayim. Because according to this, someone cannot ask for Yiras Shamayim. If you say that means Avram, you have to explain Rashi. That means someone cannot ask for Yiras Shamayim. The problem is the Gemara Bereshis that says
in the Torah you can't ask for it, but we ask for it.
Like what?
Like what?
Like Moshe asking to enter Eretz Yisrael.
I can't answer that.
Hashem
told
could
you
do
not
that.
going to do it.
No, but Hashem could do that. Hashem could enter in Eretz Yisrael. Chutz Yiras Shamayim means Hashem says that you have to do on your own. I'm not involved. Don't get me involved in that.
By design.
Yeah, don't get me involved in that. That's your own. You have to take care of yourself in Yiras Shamayim. So what are we asking for it for?
But by the way, it's not Ishmael who's now asking for it.
Yeah,
It's his father.
Yeah, so how can he ask for it? We'll see in a second. Could be it's even
The
worse.
situation.
So let's see. There's a Gemara in Baruch. The Gemara in Baruch says that Hani B'Yuni the Havi B'Shavusa the Mayor. The mayor had these people that Apikarsim who lived in his neighborhood, and they were trying to come inside like Tuva. They were trapping him. They were trapping the mayor. So Gaboyer Meir Rachmi Elayu Yehechet Limusu. Our mayor was davening to Hashem and they should die. Because they were bothering him. Amalei Beruya Devisu Beruya's wife said, "My daitech mishum nechsev yitamu chatom miksev chaytim chatom ksev. V'oyit shapil l'sefer dekra v'sham ad einam ein kivin di yitamu chatom v'sham ad einam ela boyi rachmi elayu l'hedra b'shuva." So Beruya's wife said, "Don't be mispal; they should die. You should mispal Hashem not to get rid of the sinners. Hashem should get rid of the sins. That's what you should daven for." So you see from over here, Beruya said, "Go ahead and daven that Hashem should take away their sins. That means make them do tshuva. They should be chayzer b'tshuva." And what happened? The Gemara says, "V'yirach melayu v'hadri b'tshuva and v'chayzer b'tshuva." So here you see the May was mispalel for the troublemakers that they should do tshuva.
Die.
No, first they should die.
Oh.
And his wife said, "No, be mispalel, they should do tshuva." He's mispalel, they should do tshuva, and they did tshuva. So you see, someone could be mispalel to do tshuva. So how could someone be mispalel to do tshuva? Same kasha. How does Avram Avinu mispalel the Yishmael Shav Yiras Shamayim? How is there a Meir mispalel that the bad people should do tshuva? So this kasha the Mashal asks over there in Bereshis. And the Mashal said kasha that they ask in Rashi over here. So Mashal has a chiddush over here, and the Mashal is mechadish. He says like this: a person for himself to ask for Yiras Shamayim, that he could do. That he could. And that is a double pashut. Why? So listen to what he says. A person that asks for himself that he should be chayzer b'tshuva or should have Yiras Shamayim, that he could do. The afagav ta'akol b'dei Shamayim chutz miYiras Shamayim. Hari Amru says in the Gemara, but derech she'adam roitza leilech malichin oisai. V'roitza l'taher misayin loy. V'zeh ha'mavakish rachem al atzmoy lachziroi b'tshuva harezeh b'chlal haroitza l'taher. The Gemara Makar says, if someone wants to imitate himself, he wants to do tshuva, misayin loy, Hashem helps him out. You just have to show that you want. Now, it's very hard for a person to do tshuva. It's hard. We all know it's hard. Hashem, the Makar says, you show is a rotzen that you want to do tshuva, Messiah Allah, Hashem helps you out. Hashem helps you out.
Make the first move.
Make the first step, and then Hashem helps you out. So when someone's davening to Hashem for Yiras Shamayim for himself, or davening to Hashem, he should be chayzer b'tshuva himself, In essence, what he's doing is saying, listen, I'm ready. I want to be chayzer b'tshuva. I want to have Yiras Shamayim. So then, Messiah to help him out. So the tefillah is not worse, says the Mashal, than showing to Hashem that you want to be chayzer b'tshuva. So a person is davening for himself for Yiras Shamayim and for tshuva. There's something to it.
Is there a but coming because it's
no, there's no but.
But you have to. The first step is you're asking.
You have to make the first step.
You're asking.
Asking
is a step.
Is showing what they want. Now, if someone's going to daven, he's you daven and you don't have a mind what he's saying, then that's not a first step.
He's saying you're doing it.
Yeah, it's not a first step. It has to be a sincere thing. It has to be a sincere thing.
But I have a question on the kasha.
Yeah.
Why is it if he does tshuva, why does it mean that he has Yiras Shamayim? He does harata vidui.
Yeah, that's not Yishmael. No, and that's not. It's a separate
so
thing.
what's the kasha?
No, because anything they have to.
But that doesn't mean that they had the Yiras Shamayim.
No, but the fact that someone could do tshuva, that Hashem can help someone do tshuva, the same thing as Yiras Shamayim.
Why?
Anything that has to do with avodas Hashem, of being good, doing good, is not in Hashem's hand. Yiras Shamayim doesn't mean only be scared of Hashem. Yiras Shamayim means anything that has to do with mitzvahs, doing the right thing. Hashem's not involved in that. That you have to do on your own. That you have to do on your own.
It sounds silly, but he can have another reason. He wants to do what the parents taught him and whatever. He wants this sin to not to do it ever again. He's sorry that he did it. But not necessarily for.
Interesting. If someone wants to do tshuva,
He wants to do it
for ulterior purposes.
Yeah.
For other purposes, not
Right, but
ulterior reasons.
His wife told him
nevertheless.
or something.
His wife told him to do it.
Yeah.
being forced then.
Yeah.
Someone is being forced to do
Forced to do
tshuva.
tshuva.
Okay.
But he doesn't. Is not mekabel in principle.
He's doing tshuva because he wants to go to Gan Eden, wants to be with his kids in Gan Eden. That's
Yeah, he's having something better. A person doing tshuva because he's forced to do tshuva. He's forced to do tshuva. So it's interesting. We'll get to that in a second. Interesting concept. A person who is not doing tshuva because he wants to do tshuva Hashem because of Yiras Shamayim, is doing it for ulterior motives. He's doing it because
he's sick. He wants to live.
No, so that's something else. We'll see soon. That's something else. If Hashem gives klep to somebody, pet to somebody, and because of that, he's in this oiler and he does tshuva.
Yeah,
That's Yiras Shamayim.
That's Yiras Shamayim. He's scared of Hashem. He's doing it because he's scared of Hashem.
Tshuva, no?
That's real tshuva.
Yeah.
It may not be the ultimate tshuva. The ultimate tshuva is even without that.
But that's why he's doing it.
But if someone's doing it because he's showing because of Hashem, even though Hashem gave him a patch, that's called the regular tshuva. His question was not doing it for Hashem. I want a lollipop. I don't know. I know. Someone told me if you get rid of her, I'll give you $1 million. Right? So I'm doing it for that. That's not Yiras Shamayim. It's a whole different thing. It's a whole different purpose. Why he's doing it.
That kind of tshuva won't last anyways.
My question is that called tshuva b'chlal? The question is that's called tshuva b'chlal. I don't know. It's an interesting question. I have to check into that.
Look, what happens like a guy's Michal Shabbos, and his wife says, "You know what? I'm going to leave you unless you start straightening up and keep Shabbos properly."
But he doesn't know harata.
The guy says, "I love my wife. I love my wife. I don't want to."
He's lacking harata. He's lacking harata in that. He's not tshuva. He's lacking harata. He doesn't regret it.
Right.
So that's not tshuva.
That's not tshuva.
But the way I put it is, no. His parents taught him not to do averos.
But then
If someone's doing tshuva because he's forced to do tshuva,
No lishma, ba lishma. That would be in that category.
that's called
He's not doing a lishma.
No, loy lishma, tesh lishma, ba lishma is when you're doing a mitzvah. When you're doing a mitzvah, shaloi lishma brings to lishma, but it's still a mitzvah.
But
A
the
mitzvah
tefillah is
shaloi
keeping
lishma.
Shabbos or whatever it is forced by his wife
it's
is the
true.
same
The question
thing.
is tshuva. No, definitely. If he keeps
the
Shabbos,
tshuva.
he's doing it. The question is the tshuva. Is it because of tshuva? No, the fact is, the fact that he's keeping Shabbos now, even though he's doing it because his wife told him, "I'm going to leave if you don't keep Shabbos," he gets chaf for the mitzvah. No question about it.
it's definitely a year.
Oh yeah.
For the wrong person.
He definitely gets chaf for those mitzvahs. A mitzvah that someone's forced to do, he gets chaf for the mitzvah. The question is that tshuva? I mean, the fact that he was Mechal Shabbos till now, right? He's not doing tshuva on that. Like I said, he's missing the charot. I don't know if that's called a tshuva. Someone's forced to tshuva.
Eventually, it's lo lishma, ba lishma. That's a part of it. Will come.
That could be, but the tshuva means you have to have charot on it before.
It's a very interesting question.
Not to do it again.
Ishmael
That's right,
gets sent away. Why does he get sent away?
Because Sarah says, send him away.
Right.
But it's Abraham who passes the test of sending his son away.
Okay. If he listened to her, that's a big test.
Because he listened to his wife.
Yeah, that's a big test.
Whatever. I'm just saying is.
But it wasn't his wife. It was Hashem said. So
the case that Manny said, right?
Yeah.
Where he said the wife says you either keep Shabbos or it's finished. He's keeping Shabbos, right? Sarah said something equally painful.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Abraham
that's for sure. No, that's for sure.
Abraham did it.
Yeah.
And he got credit.
Yeah, because
for passing the test.
There's
he
definitely
got credit for listening to Sarah.
Yeah, but there's definitely a schar on a mitzvah that you're forced to do. There's no question about it. You get schar. The question is tshuva. It's a whole different thing. Tshuva is something else. Tshuva needs charata. Tshuva needs charata. So back to the Mashah. So Mashah says that if a person davens to Hashem that he wants to have Yireh Shamayim, he wants to do tshuva, then it's not a problem with that. Why? Because he's showing he's bold attire. He's showing he has charata, he wants to change, he wants Yireh Shamayim. Therefore, that feel is a good feeling. He says the question over here is only that. But aval mavakish rachma al chaveiroi lahachziroi b'tshuva. If you mavakish on your friend that he should want to do tshuva kosher, ma yo bakashasai. What's that going to help? Even on your kids. What does it help for me to respond for my kids that have Yireh Shamayim? They weren't bala tahir. We all daven like kids have Yireh Shamayim, right? Well, what type of tefillah is that? That's the Mashah's kasha. The Mashah says, this that we daven, hachzireinu b'tshuva shleima lefanecha. We daven a tefillah. We daven every day in davening. Hashaveinu avinu l'tzaresecha, v'kaveinu maken l'avodesecha, v'achzireinu b'tshuva shleima lefanecha. Hachzireinu means us. So what type of tefillah is that? It says the Mashah, that's not so shver. Lo kasha kol kach. Kivu shel koilas atzmoi. He's including himself. Once you're including yourself, you can also schlep along other people, whatever the Mashah means with that. Yourself, you could be mispal because of balatayr. You can schlep along other people with you. That's what the Mashah says. And v'yesh liyashiv, how you could be mispal for somebody else.
He doesn't have an answer.
He doesn't have an answer. Mashah doesn't give an answer. It says v'yesh liyashiv. So what is the answer? What is the answer? How could someone be mispal for somebody else? Yourself, balatayr messiah noisai. How can you be mispal for somebody else? Mashah's kasha, the kasha and Rashi also. So there's a Chazon Ish that says, and I saw brought him other Achronim also. Very interesting thing. He says that I could force somebody else to do tshuva. I'm a spal. I'm a spal for myself to do tshuva. It could work by the tahir. Medine arvus. I have the same power to ask Hashem that someone else to do tshuva. If I'm asking for that person to do tshuva, it says if he is being balatayr. Shukal Torah. But that's what the Chazon Ish says.
It's interesting because we're held responsible for people who
we're held responsible for other people. And since but the problem is
we are all one.
He has to be.
It's like we are all.
We're all one. We're all one.
He has to be willing also.
Even if he's not willing.
No, you can't. If he doesn't want to do tshuva, how can I tell him that he should be doing tshuva?
I force him.
Well, you want him to.
I'm going to force him.
We force him.
My tefillah is forcing him to do tshuva. He doesn't want to. It's a chiddush of the Chazon Ish. It's a chiddush of the Chazon Ish. You could force somebody to do tshuva through your tefillahs. You could force somebody to do tshuva even though it doesn't want to. Because we're Revim Zelazeh. The problem is by Avram Avinu and Yishmael, there's no arvus.
That's right.
Avram was a spal for Yishmael. They should do tshuva.
Right.
There's no arvus there. So the Chazon Ish won't help for that.
There's no arvus on your son?
No, but that's before Matan Torah.
He kept all the mitzvahs, no?
Right.
He kept all the mitzvahs. Avram Avinu kept all the mitzvahs, the chumrah. But you can't say that there was a din arvus in those days. There was no arvus. So back to the kasha. Had Avram down for Yishmael, then there's no arvus. So the Moshe,
there's no arvus for your child? Just
before Matan Torah?
Just automatically, like just kind of like by the nature, just by its nature.
Is there arvus for him when he's 5 years old?
Responsibility.
For a child?
Before he's 13? Yeah.
No arvus. No, for now there is.
Halachically.
No, I mean then.
No. Why should there be arvus?
You're talking like halachically or just like...
no, chinuch is something else. Chinuch is not arvus. Chinuch is a whole different question. You have a 5-year-old child. You're responsible for him. What does it mean you're responsible for him?
Food, clothing.
That's a mitzvahs. Chinuch.
You're responsible to teach him how to do mitzvah.
What does it mean? Arvis? It's not Arvis. You're responsible to make sure that he goes in the right way.
Yeah, but there was no arvus there before Matan Torah. Sounds like a technical objection. It's not like we feel arvus.
Yeah,
there is arvus.
What does it mean arvis?
Okay, but it's just a technical, dry concept, halachic concept that we can't have it because we didn't have the Torah.
Yeah, because the arvis only came. The fact that I do a mitzvah and I can be moitzi you a mitzvah. What is that?
Yeah, but it's halacha.
What is halacha? It's not a dry halacha.
Hashem put arvus in the world for us.
Not the Matan Torah.
Why?
Not the Matan Torah. Before Matan Torah, arvis is not a feeling.
It was really crossing the yard there, wasn't it?
Yeah, by Parashat itself.
The Shvatim
Yeah, when they went
arvus.
over the yard, when they went over the yard, they had one of the Shvatim and arvis. Here's a question, right? We know halacha is that I could be moitzi you with a mitzvah, even though I was yoytzi already, but did arvis. Right?
It's Kiddush.
I made Kiddush, right, Friday night. Famous case. Kiddush Friday night. I made Kiddush already, so I have no chiyuv to make Kiddush anymore. You come in, you want me to make Kiddush for you. Can I make Kiddush for you?
Yes.
I could. Why? Because of Arvis. Because the fact that you have to make Kiddush is as if I have to make Kiddush. Because of Arvis. I'm responsible for everything. For every Jew, we're responsible for each other.
But our question to start with was not halachical. We didn't say why can we said why can I be misparallel for somebody?
Right, so
misparallel. It's not a halacha.
You're right, but
I'm not over in halacha if I'm
so
misparallel for somebody.
You could, but how does it work? How does it work if you misspell with somebody else? Yerushalayim. It doesn't work. For yourself it works, says the Mashal, because of Bolatar Messiah Notzai. So you can misspell for yourself for Yerushalayim. I want to misspell for you for Yerushalayim.
Okay.
It doesn't work. You're somebody else.
So we want to find out how does it work? How does it work?
How does it work? So
what is the halacha?
So the Chazon Ish says that since I'm responsible for you, not more I'm responsible for you, we're one. So by me davening is as if you're davening.
And if you don't do tshuva, it's if I didn't do tshuva.
Right.
In a sense.
In a sense.
That's why I'm praying.
That's the Chazon Ish. That's the Chazon Ish's for. Okay. It's a little hard to understand. The Moshe brings down a very simple answer. The Moshe says, his son wrote to him, I think it was Greenblatt wrote to him, Umasha Tiritz, that you wrote, of Greenblatt wrote, Atfil's Buriya L'Shoim Sheishuva V'Shuva, there's a L'chayr Shver because Hakabat Eshmaim Chutz Mirishmayim. So he's saying, the Ulai Ayadei Tfilas HaAdam Ein Zeh Nikra B'dei Shemayim. This is not what Moshe said, this is what Greenblatt wanted to say. That the fact that I'm davening for you, that's not called B'dei Shemayim. That's, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I'm being mispal that Hashem should help you out and do tshuva. Hashem's not the one that's doing it. Hashem is doing it for me. So I'm the one who's doing it. I'm the one who's doing it, not Hashem. That's what he wants to say. And Moshe says, Dacha Gadol, V'le Klal. Okay. But then he says a different shot. Avol Tzarech Loimer. How are we going to answer this question? This is a whole different shot. I think this is what Mendel was saying before. Shat Fila, Haisa, Shalo Yehelem Nisyonis Umemela Yeshuvu. Shalo Yevachaitim. When someone's mispal for somebody else to the tshuva, or someone's mispal for somebody else to have Yerushalayim, Hashem cannot inject in the person Yerushalayim, be scared of Hashem. Hashem cannot inject in the person tshuva because he wanted the tshuva. The only thing Hashem could do is He could take everything away from the side, all the nisyonis and all the problems on the side that are making him do wrong. But Mela, he'll do tshuva. That's all Hashem could do. That's what Moshe says. Hashem cannot go ahead and inject somebody a feeling, go to tshuva.
He still has to want to.
He still has to want to do it.
He still has to see what's going on around him, so that he recognizes what's happening.
Right.
That Hashem can't change.
That Hashem can't change.
But you can make the nisyonis less.
Yeah. You can make the nisyonis less.
Yeah. That's big.
You can make the nisyonis less.
That's big stuff.
Yeah.
He will not change. It's not that he cannot change.
Take out the desire.
It's the
He won't change it. He won't do that. It's not that he can't do it.
Right. I said before, Hashem can do everything.
It's his own rule.
But Yerushalayim is not something He just injects.
Right.
Doesn't inject Yerushalayim. Doesn't inject that He should do tshuva.
But if so, Hashem can also kill in front of him a number of Rishayim, so he gets ira there and there.
He could.
If see it's happening in front of him,
yeah,
he gets ira.
he gets.
He realized Yirat Shemayim.
Yeah, that's punishment. Yeah. Said that Hashem give a pash to somebody.
No, but somebody else. I mean,
Yeah.
so Hashem creates the conditions for him to see it clearly.
If you're
making some
who are heavy smokers get lung cancer, heaven forbid.
Right.
It's an incentive to stop smoking.
Right. Al-Akhrami. That's what Moshe says. Whichever way it is, the positive or the negative, whichever way you want to do it, Hashem has to work around it. It's much harder. Much easier for Hashem.
Creating conditions,
which is much harder. It's much easier to go ahead and to be mispal, go ahead and his Yerushalayim. Here is a tshuva. No, Hashem doesn't do that. He just mispal is shelayu achotim el mechusa parnasa uchadoyme v'gam shayach l'spal sheHashem yisbarach yazmel lahem sheyishmu divrei musar ve'anoshim tzadikim v'yeshuva yidei zeh b'tshuva. Hashem should make it, they should end up going to Musar Shmuz here and there, and they should hear, and that should make them do tshuva. But Hashem cannot give the person the will to do tshuva. That Hashem can't do. So we have a big machlokes over here. Chazon Ish and Ramosha. Chazon Ish says we could. A person can be mispal, whatever the reasoning is. But the Chazon Ish says you could be mispal that Hashem should inject in a person Yerushalayim. Hashem should inject in a person a will to do tshuva. That's what the Chazon Ish says. Rabbi says you can't do that. It doesn't work. You can be mispal that Hashem should work around it and make sure that everything is good around him, or he'll see how bad it is and he wants to do tshuva, everything around and around. But the direct thing he can't do.
So would that mean there's a nafkamina in the lashon hatfilah that you should use? What if you ask,
So in our tefillah, so we daven, right? We daven that Hashem should instill in our kids Yerushalayim. Yeah. Our lashon is instill.
I don't think that the Chazon Ish and Rav Moshe are that far apart.
Okay.
Because when the Chazon Ish davens for this to happen, he's not able to determine the method through which Hashem will accomplish the child or the individual.
That's true.
Becoming Yerushalayim.
That's true. Which method? But
it may be that there's a near miss in a car accident and it suddenly changes.
That's true. That's true. We don't know how Hashem's going to do it. I'll give you an example. Right. This is also a big shayla b'tachin. Right. Someone's doing a business deal, right? And he wants it to work out. So he's mispalel to Hashem. Let this business deal work out. I want this to work out. Is a person supposed to do that or not? It's been machlokes. The person is supposed to do that or not. Or he's supposed to daven to Hashem, listen to Hashem. However you're going to do it, you do it. I'm not getting involved in how you're going to do it. And if it means that this business deal should work fine, a person never knows. You want this business deal to work. In the meantime, if this works, you end up losing something else. A different side, you never know. A person never knows what's good or what's not good. So therefore, a lot of people say you shouldn't daven directly for this thing to work or that thing to work. You should daven, Hashem just have me panasa. How he's going to do it, that's not our business. If he wants that this business deal should work, fine. But to go be mispal directly that this business deal should work, a lot of people say that we don't do. That we're not mispal. I've heard from Gedolim saying, what do you mean? It's a shtadlus. A person's got to do a shtadlus in Parnasa, right? Part of my shtadlus is daven Hashem, that should work. That's part of your shtadlus. Fine. It's a machlokes. Exactly how you should daven.
It should work if it's correct.
If it's correct, yeah. So shidduchim, the same thing, right? The shidduch should work, maybe not. The right one should come at the right time. If this is the right one, fine. If not. There's always same thing here with tshuva. The Chazon is not saying that be mispal Hashem directly. That do like every tefillah you do. But could I daven to Hashem that this person should have Yerushalayim? Like I could daven the person should have panasa. Everyone agrees you could daven to have panasa. How the panasa is going to happen, you don't know. Same thing here. The Chazon Ish says, you could daven to have Yerushalayim. You know exactly how it's going to happen. Maybe Hashem will do this, he'll do that. But you want to daven directly for Yerushalayim. The Chazon Ish says you could do that. And Moshe says you can't do that. It doesn't work. You daven that Hashem should help him have it. How? Through doing everything around it to make it happen. But you can't daven directly for Yerushalayim. The Rabbi said, all our tefillahs, we say, Hashem should instill Yerushalayim in our kids directly. Right?
But Moshe says specifically you should not use words like that?
He doesn't say that. No. He just says that it doesn't help. Daven for Yerushalayim directly doesn't help. So we're assuming that according to the Moshe, with davening, that our kids should have Yiras Shamayim means whatever you have to do, Hashem, do. But that means everything around it, do it. But
however it has to happen.
However it has to happen, let it happen. Yeah. You have to do a lot of things around it, fine. Fine. But if this is the pshat, then we can understand more. Remeyo, he was mispal that should die. Right? He was mispal that the people who were champing him should die. Why did he mispal? He didn't know what his wife was mechadash to him, such a big thing, that they should daven, that they should do tshuva. Maybe he could think of that himself. The answer is the man knew that it's impossible to daven directly to do tshuva. What you have to do is, you have to daven that Hashem should be very, very busy with this. I say, kosher zevugim k'shalom kriyas yam. What's so hard? Hashem can't make zevugim, right? The question is, you have to want to do it. Hashem can do everything around it, but you have to want to do it yourself. If not, it's not going to work. Same thing here. You have to want to do it yourself. Hashem can't make you do it. So Hashem has to do everything around it. Rabbi Yirmiyah said the best way here is, why be matriach Hashem to go ahead and do everything around it and be so busy with making these people do tshuva? It's easy, just get rid of them. It's easy just to get rid of them. So his wife said, no, don't do that. Daven that you should do everything around it. But if you could daven directly to have Yiras Shamayim, so why didn't the maid know that? The maid didn't know that they could daven for Yiras Shamayim or tshuva. The maid knew that they can't daven for tshuva directly. You have to daven that Hashem should make everything else around it work. He felt easier that just to get rid of them, which is also a big question.
So what did his wife convince him to do? To do that?
Yeah, don't get rid of them. It's better that they should daven, that Hashem should do a lot to make sure they do tshuva.
Okay.
Which is a big question.
Meir knew that was possible. He just didn't think it was the best option.
Right, that wasn't the best option.
Convinced him that he should take that.
Right, take that option. If the option is a very simple option, they should do tshuva directly. So Hashem can kill them and can make them tshuva. What's the difference? But if doing the tshuva is a much harder option because Hashem can't do it directly, so then you can't stand. So what's better?
But do we think that the Chazon Ish intended that the results of his davening would be the next morning the person will wake up and have a completely different view of life?
It could be.
Or over a period of time.
No, that could be. If you don't daven...
I mean, I think when we daven that... I can't speak for everybody else, but I think when we daven that our children share Yiras Shamayim, we don't expect it to be a miraculous...
Why don't we expect it? Why don't we expect it? That makes a question. Someone has no money, right?
Because
someone, and he has chayvus and he needs money, right? He davens Hashem to help him from parnasa. What does he expect should happen? The next day he's become a millionaire, pay everything off, and have everything he wants?
He'll buy a ticket first.
Or he's not buying a ticket. Or, no, Hashem should work it out slowly but surely, right? If a person is very sincere about it, Hashem can help him in a second, clarify him. Sure. If this person davens well enough, it can happen in a second. Chazon Ish says the same thing with Yiras Shamayim. To say you can wake up the next morning, we don't know how Hashem is going to do it, and you have the parnasa that you need, says the Chazon Ish the same thing. The next morning, the person you daven for can wake up, and he's Yiras Shamayim. He's chayz b'tshuva in a second. That's what the Chazon Ish holds. The Moshe holds not that way. The Moshe holds not that way. The Chazon Ish holds, the next morning the guy can wake up, all of a sudden he's the biggest
tzaddik. All of Musar is built on the idea that this is something that you build over a period of time.
What, to do tshuva?
Tshuva is a second.
Change?
No, that's
tshuva can be in a second.
Yiras Shamayim.
Yeah, but
It's something you work on all your life.
We have to work in it, of course. We have to work in it.
It's not something that we.
Of course, we have to work in it. We have to work on everything. We have to work
on.
on.
We just train differently about the subject, but my impression is that Yiras Shamayim is not something
that you could just happen in a second. Okay, but the Chazon Ish holds, that's like a merchant, maybe.
In the case of money, right?
Yeah.
It can go as fast as it can come.
That's true.
Right.
Faster, but
that's true. Why? Why the money could go and come as fast as it wants? Because Hashem could do anything in a second. Right? Hashem could do anything in a second. The question is Yiras Shamayim the same thing or not? That's the question today. Because Yiras Shamayim is the same thing as money. You could daven to Hashem and Hashem would give it in a second, take it in a second, or no. There's no such thing. Yiras Shamayim and money is two separate things. I mean, there's two separate things, but even in the game, this is two separate things.
There's no lottery ticket for Yiras Shamayim.
That's a question. That's a shayla. Chazon Ish says there is. If you daven to Hashem correctly, you could daven to Hashem, and the next day you can wake up with Yiras Shamayim.
There's a good fundraising idea.
Huh?
Before you go to sleep, you can have.
Before you go to sleep. As the Chazon Ish says. Habash says, no, it doesn't work that way. It's impossible. Yiras Shamayim can't come in a second. Hashem cannot instill in your Yiras Shamayim. Hashem could work around the things that make you want to have Yiras Shamayim, and obviously that's a longer process. That's the machlokes.
Okay.
That's the machlokes.
I don't see it as a big machlokes. By the way, I see the motivation. You know, the Arvis is very interesting. Adds a very interesting element.
But Chazanish Arvis, yeah.
He's saying, look, God's going to hold me responsible for the sins of all of Klal Yisrael. Right? I'm going to hold him responsible, for playing his role in this too. Right? And that's his argument. That's the Chazanish's argument.
I don't know exactly like that, but
it is. You can't hold me responsible for somebody else's sins unless you play a role in this binding situation.
The fact Arvis doesn't say that I'm responsible for someone else's sins. That's not what it says. Someone does an Aveira, and I can't do anything about it. I'm not responsible for it. If I could do something about it and I don't, then I'm responsible for it.
What happened in Ai?
What do you mean?
In the conquest of Ai?
Yeah.
With Yoshua?
Yeah. He could have done something.
It wasn't just the person. No.
Apparently.
What are you talking about? They were warned. He didn't know who did it. It was done secretly.
Apparently people knew this guy did it.
His family knew. Only his family.
Okay, his family.
Only his family knew. Right?
That's, you have to see exactly what happened over there.
And people, a lot of people died in the process.
There's another very interesting thing here we found that even
our argument there is ours.